It's demos. Well, you know the deal. We played the Haunted PS1 Demo Disc 2020 last year. And a new one has just come out with even more demos than last time. The last one had, I think, 16 to 17 demos. This one is chock full to bursting with 25 demos of PS1 horror. Now, by PS1 horror, they mean games in the style of PlayStation 1 games. They don't strict rigidly to those limitations. Some of them do kind of look like PS1 games, and then there are others where it's like, well, this is clearly a bit above what a PS1 can do, but it's not really a technical thing. It's more of a style, aesthetic thing. And just so happens that we have been playing a couple of actual PS1 horror games at the moment, so we've recently have seen the authentic thing. And so now we're going to see these new demos for upcoming PS1 style horror games. Let us begin. We begin in a strange city, a strange low polygon city. So I've been playing the demo disc over the weekend, taken in the demos. Little things here and there to look at. There's the logo. It's the ghost with the PS1 symbol. Some demos are longer than others. Large variety of types of games in this demo disc, though of course what we're looking at right now is the launcher, which is basically kind of a game on its own. An ominous looking door. What will we find inside?
Welcome, friend.
Well, it is the mascot. We've come to the museum. They have what we need. Haunted games birthed from the accursed minds of our world. You know, I do like the description of games not being made or coded, but rather birthed. We will lose ourselves in them as they pierce through our corneas and into the back of our skulls. We may never leave this place. We will make the best of it. One more thing. No smoking, no dying. Don't get corpse germs over everything. It's maybe a horrific place, but there are standards. Hygienic standards. I kind of like the little ghost icon in the lower right. It's kind of matching what we're doing. Well, let's head to the elevator and check out the attractions. We got 3 floors of demos. All right, as we step out, we have a floor of 10 demos surrounding us, and the one immediately in front of us may look familiar because this is actually a demo. Well, we played an older version of this demo. It's an Outcry. The description is an exploration of life in a doomed country under the wings of a vague menace. It has a content... Well, each of them do have content warnings added by the details added by the developers. This one has sudden loud noises, misgendering, transphobia, fascism, suicide, flashing images, smoking, and drinking. Some credits. Fascism, not usually a content warning you see. So we did play an older version of this demo. This one has some additions. It is a 2D game, but as we walk to the demo in the launcher, we have a polygonal version of the hallway and its main character. Uh-oh. Gotta switch windows. Hold on. Sometimes... There it is. You know, sometimes it doesn't switch correctly. Don't know why that is. Let's give it a start. Inevitable is ominous. We got heavy topics. We will view the content warnings. We did see them in the launcher. I think these are the same thing here, just in case you were accessing the demo on its own. Use your discretion and prioritize mental and physical well-being or finishing or even playing the game. Thank you. We are controlling with the arrow keys, Z and space to interact. X cancels, C opens the menu. Put on your headphones. I'll wait a second for you to put them on. Are they on? Okay. Distant bird calls, welcome the night. An itch. No matter how far you walk, you never feel like you're there. Standing up from their chair, the unnamed tosses a book to the ground. The itch intensifies. They forget. They need to scratch what is in their chest. Shoes get pulled over their heels. A jacket wrapped round their shape. The door is opened. They emerge. Now they are almost in your hands. Almost. The unnamed turns towards the door, then back. They feel their pockets for desired items, their cigarette, their lighter, their keys. Ah, shit. They forgot all of it. It's gonna be a long night. They needed to get their mail downstairs. Their wrist is slender enough to do that without keys. Their addiction is a different story. They need a lighter and cigarettes. Not the first time they made the rounds looking for that. There's a lot of time to kill. Enough time to bum smokes off every one of their neighbors. You see, you got to do the pocket check before you leave the apartment. Classic mistake. Mr. Schmidt opens the door. A strong odor of burning cigarettes fills the air, overwhelming even to the unnamed's trained nose. Schmidt's fingers are clamped around a smoke. From what little of his apartment they can see through the crack, it is furnished entirely with natural wooden tables, cupboards, and bookshelves. You, at my door, at 10 p.m. We can make choices as to what we want to... How do we want to answer? Sure, us at his door at 10 p.m. Yeah. What do you want, boy? That's, Well, go away. I have an excellent model ship to build, and you've snapped me out of focus. The unnamed sighs. Conversations with Schmidt typically don't go differently from this one. Maybe Mrs. Eisen will give them what they need. Or better yet, Anne. Miss Yilmaz? They think that's what's her name. Honestly speaking, she's probably the neighbor they know the least about. Their paths briefly cross from time to time, specifically when she is following her janitorial duties around the building. As the unnamed knocks, an exhausted voice calls, "I'll be right there." Soon, Miss Yildirim opens the door. From behind her, the unnamed can faintly hear two young boys arguing. "Good evening." "Good evening, Miss Yildirim." "That's almost my name." I'm sorry." "Mrs., I'm still married." Off to an easy start. What did you want to talk about?" Well, first one is a little heavy. Might as well get down to business. We're here to bum a smoke. Do you smoke, Mrs. Yildirim? I used to when I was young. For a moment, nostalgia flashes across her expression. Soon, it turns to regret. I used to when I was young. Smoking isn't allowed in this house anyway. The landlord would drop me quick. It's too cold outside to smoke. I just freeze outside, yeah. Okay, since you're on your way out, don't catch a cold. Thank you, Mrs. Yildirim. Good evening. Well, two different conversations, but neither one of them resulted in smokes. An elevator, we could take it down, but we could also go into the hallway to the right. Behind a door refurbished and polished to a sheen lies a dreary hole, swallowed by whitewashed walls that flicker in perpetual TV static. This is Miss Ison's place. After a few seconds of silence, she approaches and opens the door. Her nightgown is dirty and reeks of cigarettes. Why, hello! What do we have here? The boy, but a girl, but a boy. Let me tell you, when you moved in here, you were half your current size. You're never gonna be a girl like this, let me tell you. Yeah, of course, Mrs. Ison. I needed to ask... Yeah. Got a cigarette to spare? Pardon, dear. I said, did I hear that right? Oh, ha. You can not be serious, dear. Oh, no. I certainly do not have any handouts to give to somebody such as you. I thought you and I was on friendly terms, and here you are asking me again for a gift, giving naught in return, ever. How wrong I was. Pray tell, when you vouched to clean up all your cigarettes you carelessly litter a courtyard with, and who else but I is relied upon you, and leave it for the old. You consider yourself a reader and a smart aleck, but you will never be a woman, and that. But oh no, I am not afraid, not a fruitcake such as you. I was not hitting the enter key there. Any which way, I cannot give you even a single cigarette until you have paid me for the ones that you have already taken. I could certainly spare more if you were to go to the tobacconist for me. But, oh dear, it closed 3 hours ago. You may have to just wait. Always a pleasure, Gertrude. Quite the opposite, dear. Pull your damn weight soon, and for heaven's sake, eat less. Good night, Mrs. Ison. Pardon? I said good night, Mrs. Ison. That is miss to you. We'll clearly have a good relationship with our neighbors. The unnamed has a sudden thought. They were told in therapy to be more assertive. People may have more to say if they press their request with them. People like Schmidt. Or they'll at least feel bothered enough to give them cigs. Well, we do have one more neighbor to inquire with. The unnamed quietly smiles to themselves before their knuckle meets the door of their friend. Oh God, who? Coming! They sway back and forth on their heels, waiting for one Anne Pearl, the other proclaimed poet extraordinaire. And here she is, 'tis I, your gal pal. Hi, Anne. How you doing, girlfriend? Haven't seen you leave your apartment for anything but a smoke this past week. It can't be healthy. Oh, I see. Well, you have to bear with my pleasantries first while they're hot. How are you? Well, I mean, if there's only one person we can open up to, we probably should be honest. I'm a nervous wreck, Anne. Oh, geez. You usually keep that kind of thing down, usually. Is it that bad? Come on, out with it, young lady. Well, let's see. We can say that we feel bad in our body. We can say that we feel the itch. We locked ourselves out, or please don't call us that. Like all kinds of problems. You know, I kind of feel bad in the body. Don't I know the feeling, baby? Remember, my offer still stands. It will stand for the foreseeable future, the short-term foreseeable future. Thank you, Anne. Don't mention it. Just make sure to, actually make use of it, okay? Oh dear. Dearie. Oh, what am I gonna do with you? Can I do anything? Hug you? Yeah, no. Not right now. Understood. Hey, little one, trust me when I says this. It can get better. Quell horror. If I had a cigarette, I'd offer you one right now. I don't even have a lighter. Oh, baby, I got a veritable million of those. Suit yourself. Which one do we want? I forget which one we chose in the first demo. There was Translator or Skull Lighter, and I don't remember which one we went with. We can get Transflag Lighter or Cool Skull Lighter. Man, I don't remember which one it was. Trans rights? Nah, a girl after my own heart. Here you are. The unnamed got a Transflag Lighter. Thank you so much, Anne. Are you coming to smoke one with me? I'm so sorry, dear. I don't have any to spare. The cupboard and the cardboard boxes are bare. No tail in sight, no smoke, no light. To hell the flame to burn so bright. Who said that? An extraordinary poet. Schmidt's probably got what you need. I could smell his flat from the other end of the building. Tell you what, if you want to look around the gossip or need help, just let me know. Thank you, Anne. See you later. Teehee? Don't know how you actually pronounce teehee. Like, it's easy to write, but I don't know how you say it. I've never heard anyone say it. But anyway, we've got a lighter, but we need cigarettes, and we also need the key to our apartment. That's kind of a problem. Well, it was suggested that if we be more assertive with Schmidt, that he might have cigarettes to spare. A long, drawn-out groan is audible, coming closer. What the devil do you want now, boy? Well, I failed to ask before, may I have a cigarette? Sure, little man. Have a whole pack. Knock yourself unconscious on that sweet, sweet perfume. You know my cigarettes are self-rolled. I buy the tobacco from overseas. You'd better fucking appreciate it. Also, fall unconscious and sleep. And quit disturbing me while I'm building model ships. Is this really okay? Yeah, sure. I roll like 100 of them every day. Knock yourself out. The unnamed got some cigarettes. Are they strong? Fuck, little buddy. They sure are. They'll knock the wind right out of you. Now go have a pleasant smoke and then scoot off the fuck to bed. And make no more noise. That won't be possible. Locked myself out. Long night ahead, huh? Well, don't come crying to me about it. Alright, we got lighter, we got cigarette, but we do still need keys. And that's kind of a problem. But we do need mail. We did say that we wanted to get mail. I hate this thing. The elevator stalls from time to time. They're always caught off guard by its arrival. Come on. The building bulletin board. There are 4 notices. Which will they examine? All right. Well, first there's delivery drivers. What does it say? Dear post-doc delivery drivers, 1. This fine building's door numbers start at the top and end at the bottom. The lower the apartment number, the further upstairs it is. The last shall be the first. A familiar sentiment, I'm sure. 2. If you arrive after dark, do not attempt to use any light switches, and do not shine your flashlight into any of the residents' windows. People are trying to sleep. 3. If you decide to make your disgruntlement known through vandalism, I will not hesitate to call the police. 4. If you are unable to read this notice, please find Mrs. Esma Yildirim, our brave janitor, at door number 7. I am very sorry for your inconvenience. Regards, the landlord. There's a notice in Turkish written with a careful blue cursive posted underneath. Something in Turkish by Koli Gelson. I'm assuming it's not a flattering note. The second one is a PSA for lights not working. Dear concerned resident, I have received your notice regarding the wiring of the walls and its present incapacitation. It was heard loud and clear. From henceforth, rent will be doubled so as to account for my being required by your request to save up for a complete electrical overhaul of this building. This house is from the 1930s. Its wiring is irreparably obsolete. It lies outside my power to fix it. Unless you feel a personal responsibility to right this wrong, I suggest you bring a flashlight with you at night or move out. I am very sorry for your inconvenience. Regards, the landlord. Well, that seems completely fair. I mean, how else are these lights supposed to be fixed? There's also no fire extinguishers. Dear concerned resident, while I harbor some measure of goodwill towards those distressed by the darkness of these halls, I do not recognize your complaint at all. The notion that this building, or any building in the inner city at all, could catch fire is preposterous. I suggest that, as your worry of perishing in a fire is so great, you purchase your own personal extinguisher, maintain it regularly, and stop smoking in your abode. There only ever is fire where there is smoke, and he who is guilty prefers to point at his fellow men. I am very sorry for your inconvenience. Regards, the landlord. Well, I mean, I'm convinced. How could anyone think that any building could burn down? That doesn't make sense. Fire doesn't work that way, I'm pretty sure. Clearly, people are overreacting. Here's the rent. Rent is overdue for G. Korber, F. Bernhoff, A. Schenschaden, and E. Yildirim. Make a payment immediately to obviate the need for legal action and eviction. I, too, need to make a living. I'm very sorry for this inconvenience. Regards, the landlord. Yeah, I do like publicly posting the names of the people who are late with their rent. Well, that's all of the PSAs. I mean, the landlord's suffering too. Why doesn't anyone think about the landlord? The unnamed slides their hand into the mail slot. They can feel a small sheet of paper. They catch up betwixt their fingers and pull it out. Huh? Package arrived whilst they were sleeping. Due to occupant absence, it was left at the front door of the building. No. The Vienna City Belt. A place of restriction, the constriction of tenant belts, and cheap liquor served the hungry heads. People pass here only ever to get through, or by. The unnamed should know. Their package is not before the main entrance, but there is something suspicious lying in the road they should look at. The unnamed eyes unfocus and stare off into the distance. Take a look around? We shall do that. Okay, we can look at items of interest. Such as, well, I mean, there's me. So here you stand. Is it really you? So many plasters slapped onto your skin, so many stamps pressed into your mind shape, declaring you no longer a danger to yourself. Pasted on scars, faded. Is this the real you? Blending into the tone of your skin that may as well be written on your body. But they are square little liars handed to you on sheets of paper, for with their multiplicity they reveal their ineffectualness to you. What people don't know is that the human mind, your mind, is like a home. A barrage of never-ending chores. Socializing is a chore. Exercising is a chore. Shaving is a chore. Washing your body is a chore. Putting clothes on is a chore. Eating is a chore. Drinking is a chore. Waking is a chore. But even without even one of these, you get worse. They get worse. The dysphoria screams with entitlement of a sensory perfection and social acknowledgement that they cannot attain. And soon, they cast this thought aside. Because we do have something in the road we need to look at after all. Beneath the many wheels, there's a battered copy of Robert Coover's The Public Burning, the contents of their package. It is unsalvageable. Fucking hell. Piece of paper that has completely receded into the street, dust to dust. Cars speed by, all going down the same direction, further and further down the bend of the city belt. The odd police and ambulance blare their way past the unnamed. One time, about 2 years ago, the unnamed had made a decision. They would go into the road and become a windshield passenger, like a bird or a bug. Yeah, like a bug. At 1 a.m., they set their first step onto the tire-flattened asphalt. The day's fading heat warmed their shoes. No cars came for a few minutes. Traffic lights had changed, yet soon their approach turned imminent. For a moment, the unnamed didn't care. It brought to mind the light at the end of the proverbial tunnel, a release, a better place. However, some kind of inner conviction pulled them, forced them back onto the pavement. They swallowed their tears until they got back inside. All reasons, any reasons, weren't good enough. Aren't good enough. But sometimes, even now, they still want to go back to that moment and fight the survival instinct. The U6 line is a rotten place, full to the brim with people, most of them impoverished. They don't like to admit this to themselves, but the unnamed too is poor. They have tried time and time again to get a job, to no avail. So they keep trying and trying and trying, the curriculum vitae in their dead hands, not impressive enough. Looking at the stunted tree in the station shade, the unnamed is reminded of their old therapist. His office, even now, is just a couple of paces from their apartment. At one point last year, before they would switch to something different, that therapist gave them the task of drawing a tree. So they did and handed in their result. The response they got was... that's it? They felt a little alienated from their therapist in that moment. It seemed almost like he wasn't assessing the milieu of the tree, the actual point of the therapeutic exercise, but their lack of art skills. Soon thereafter, other pieces would slot into place. The heated discussions on therapy time about whether fixing bikes and computers counts as art. His obsession with keeping the unnamed a smoker. It's just what artists do, etc. And, of course, partner therapy. They'd really rather not think about Alex again. It's a big old smile. The Austrian right-wing party advertises full force in the district of this city. Like spores, these politivertising posters sow the Cheshire Man's smile into the brains of the despondent. His eyes an unnatural steel blue, his features photoshopped to eternal youth. Every so often, the unnamed will linger before one of these posters and examine it. They always contain these strong slogans in inexorable letters, statements like... our money for our people, no livelihood for foreigners. Let's take Vienna back. Your foreign neighbor isn't safe. Against lies and corruption, we as a turnout are plenty corrupt ourselves. Vote the Freedom Party Sebastian Schrey for Chancellor 2017. You would think this might polarize, but the unnamed still isn't sure whether to vote for or against them. Well, I believe that's everything we can take a look at here. Obviously, we're not going to try to get that book out of the street. The door won't open without keys. Fuck. All right. They ring Dan's doorbell, door number 105. Who is there? Me. Sorry, Anne. Ha, you silly. Did you try to smoke out on the street? Not quite. Come in, you. I'll keep it on auto buzz from now on. Well, getting the mail didn't turn out very well. Out in the fresh city air, car fumes dampened by the apartment walls encircling them. The unnamed thinks, time to poison this place some more. They click the lighter, igniting it, stone sparks firing at gas. The itch in their chest, the gaping maw, make grabby hands, clicks its jaw at the cigarette before it's even lit. The unnamed feels like they can focus a lot better now. Like their mind has traveled out of their body, and like a carbon monoxide copy of them was sent to a safe place. Saved. We can save here. 20 cigarettes, 15 slots, diminished now by 1. They'd better make the most of that. The unnamed watches their exhaust travel about like a restless stray. They snap out of their nicotine stupor as the sound of a distant outcry is carried to them. Its reverberations are felt far and wide, amplified by the surrounding walls. Well, it says we can follow, or we can ignore. Well, don't know what would change from which to which, but I mean, hey, we're playing this demo for an outcry, and we just heard it, so clearly we're going to follow it. Something has burrowed itself deep in the unnamed's brain. A conviction, a steadiness. There's nothing more here. I should go talk to Anne. Hello, hello. Oh, hello, hello. Stop and linger for a spell. Huh? Well... never mind. Never mind, never mind. Believe indifference is unkind. Nameless see the bird you see. On the bricks, on the bricks. What? What the fuck? Nameless better suck it up. Questions asked from Mrs. Maw. Is this not the final straw? Should this not be well explained? What makes birdness so disdained? People don't hate birds. I'm sorry, you're just creeping me the hell out. Terrific is the birdness he. Think again and pray for thee. Terrific birdness. This is asinine. Insult to my injured heart. Apologize, you blight in sight. Look, I don't care about you right now, you glowing hallucination. I need to go back inside. What would nameless hearts and mouths yet defend from birdnesses' beaks? What? Are you threatening me? Hmm? Did you not follow an outcry? I did? Then get. Okay? Well, it told me to get, so I guess I am getting. Well, we still don't have the keys for our apartment. So coming back up doesn't help me all that much. Anne? Come on, please. Indoor birds? Well, that's just not right at all. Anne, help me, please. For the love of goodness, baby, I'm in the middle of writing that bastard of a smut book. What gives? Oh, God. Is everything all right, baby? What happened? Could you call me a locksmith, please, Anne? Oh, darling, of course. You should have said you needed one sooner. Ah, poor baby. Alone in the cold and dark. And pinches their cheek. Hey, come on in. I got some writer's block solvent open, so feel free to have a sip as well. We'll warm you up. Come on, have a seat. What's your poison? I thought you only had one kind. Baby, you need to do your homework on all things Anne if you truly thought that. How do you want to kill your tyrannical slump tonight? We can choose between a martini or some bourbon. Let's go with some bourbon. All right, you hard-boiled egg, but I'm not fixing you a second one if you don't like it. So tell me, what's eating you? You always do need to get that coaxed out of you, huh? Come on, have your first sip of truth serum. It might help. Okay. Well, baby, let me ask again. What's eating you? Well, considering what just happened with the birds, we probably might have some issues. Let's say that we're scared for our mental health. Oh dear. Baby, it's a good thing you came to me. Just remember, I got drinks, so there's ice cubes as well. Use them if you need. No, it's not that. I saw a bird. Eh? I heard a bird speak. Oh, the birds are speaking to you? I think I see your point now. But this is a daft little question, but what did it say? So there was this horrible sound first, like either the end of an era of peace or the start of an era of terror. That's an interesting distinction. I don't think it was, well, maybe we'll say it's the start of an era of terror. Felt like I couldn't stand by. I had to take some kind of action, and, well, we did have a choice, and we resolved to do so. I heard the sound too. Huh? Yeah, spooked the hell out of me. Thank Christ I wasn't the only one. Boots marching and sirens wailing and screams within screams. Whispers walking round, going door to door. Yeah, that was it. I have been in frightening situations, but whatever it was we heard was otherworldly. So, what did the bird? Well, I mean, we know its eyes were orange. I was just guessing at what his voice would have sounded like, but let's say its eyes were orange. And its beak was long and its plumes gray. But it was no crow or jackdaw. And what did it say? It said... well, it was not really that clear on if it was actually threatening us, but it did say that we insulted it. And that I should apologize for making light of it. Peculiar, this whole affair. Well, I'm sure you were just spooked like myself. There must be a logical explanation for the sound and what you heard. I'll call you Locksmith now. Thank you so much. Don't mention it, baby. Alright, looks like we can walk around. Hold on. Hey, don't snoop in there, please. And finishes her phone call. He says he's in the area. He'll be knocking in the... Oh, hell. I left the thing on autobuzz. I did hear traffic when he was around. Maybe he was just that close by? I suppose I should check. I suppose so, too. Are you going to finish your drink? Well, yeah. Why wouldn't we? With any consolation, I made something I hated too. A Cosmopolitan. Bottoms up. Hey, you? Yeah? Whatever's happening, I think rest will do you lots of good tonight. Sleep well, little one. Thank you, Anne. Be safe. Well, someone buzzed themselves into the building. Though she did just call the locksmith. Doesn't seem like they would have come this fast. In the moment of most choices, you don't realize you're making one. Little dominoes tumble, gears click into place, and much, much later, you see what changed. You've chosen for the unnamed, knowing that their choice is all they are. Keep watching your diorama. Keep playing with your doll. Huh. Locksmith must have... Weird. Yeah, the locksmith came already, opened the door, and just kind of left it open and left. It's very quality service. Alright, well, we're back inside. The Unname's laptop, a piece of shit in a half-broken limbo, held together with technical know-how alone. They really need a new one, but can't really save up sufficiently to get one. Rent is more important. Sometimes they wonder what it would be like to still get Christmas gifts from family. It's a tight squeeze between the oven door and the adjacent cupboard. Their fridge opens against the kitchen counter, meaning they have to walk around its door to get the food they're preparing out of it. It's a minor annoyance, nothing more, but it's one among many in this apartment. The Unnamed chooses to joke about it. There's nothing else they can really do, unless they turn the refrigerator upside down. So you gotta think outside the box in these situations. A bicycle chain for their project. Power cells for their project. A lofty goal for someone as poor as them, maybe, but they really just want an electric bike. The chair was acquired a year ago. They terrorized the entire U6 line getting it home, but it was free. Free is all they can afford these days. They left the complete plays of Bertolt Brecht on the ground earlier. The Unnamed is too tired right now to put this heavy book back on the shelf. Shelves filled with books column to column. A box of various memories sits at the bottom. Concert tickets, board games, decades-old handheld consoles. The Unnamed CD collection sits at the bottom. The Unnamed notices their favorite CD among them, Esquire's self-titled album. The radio and CD player combo sits in between. They fall asleep more easily with the radio on. Might do that tonight. They can listen to their favorite album in the morning. Bedside table and lamp. Why do they leave their keys in here? There's also a half-empty pack of cigarettes tucked away in this drawer. Ding! 5 cigarettes. And our bed. It's our unmade bed. Sure, let's go to bed. It's been a strange night. Yield, I have been asked to inform the Austrian yielding to force. Their beating wings overshadow all. So that's the end of the demo. A strange night in the night of the Nameless, as we had a lot of trouble getting back into our apartment after bumming some smokes and having a chat with a bird. But back to the launcher. Still don't really know what this game is going to be about quite. A close-up look of the Nameless in 3D. What is going to happen with the birds? What difference will that change? I mean, the decision that we made between follow and ignore. How will that change things? And what is it that the Nameless is actually going to have to do? In these 2 demos we played of an Outcry, we've now seen the setup for the setting and the character, but I don't know yet what things are actually going to be like. When the birds come. Why are they coming, and what are they coming for? I don't know. Many unanswered questions, still, for an Outcry. The second one we're looking at here is Fiend's Isle. A very different demo from what we just saw. Fiend's Isle is an action RPG roguelike inspired by the first-person games of the mid-90s. Explore procedurally generated dungeon, collect loot, and fight skeletons. There's no content warning. And it says it's inspired by first-person games of the mid-90s. No, this is inspired by one very specific first-person game. That game being King's Field. Let's open up the chest. And what treasure do we find? But a demo. Fiend's Isle. Well, if you have played King's Field, this should look very familiar. So, how do you know that this is based on King's Field? Well, let's take a step backwards. Yeah? Yeah, that's King's Field, all right. Now, I think this is procedurally generated from what I've seen. Seems like it changes every time you start up. But the basics all seem to be the same. The basics of the structures and what it is you're doing here. I'm using mouse and keyboard, which is not very King's Field-ish. You can use a controller. But got hurt by the slime. Skeleton. Skeletons in King's Field were bad news. You had to watch out, otherwise they would give you the big overhand slash with their claymore. With the skeleton dead, I can take its sword. Let's see. What is the inventory button on this keyboard? I don't actually know. I'm just hitting a lot of keys now. See if I can bring up the inventory. Well, hold on. Let me switch to the controller. Okay, we'll start on the controller as this. Switch to this short sword. Ooh, a crossbow. And a compass. Another thing that... Well, that is a very King's Field compass right there in the upper right. Another thing that makes this feel very different from King's Field is the frame rate. King's Field on the PlayStation 1 had a distinctive frame rate, let's say. Oh, I got hit. I get hit by that sword. I have to back off and make sure I don't get hit again. Oh, a slime was coming up from behind. Fortunately, there is an herb up here. I will use. I can also equip this crossbow. Let's use another green herb. Bridge. We need to find a switch that'll let us cross that bridge. There's also a well. Don't know what the well does, but we can drop coins into it. Nothing to offer. there's a switch over there. Let's see. Okay, so we do have a run button that causes my stamina to drop if I use it, but we need to run past. Pull the switch. And now this bridge has been stretched, and we can cross. While we're at it, why don't we get some herbs? Another path that we're going to have to run by. Getting bunches of herbs. Oh, I got killed. I died. And then we start over again. But it seems like whenever you start, the basics are kind of the same. Also, those worms throw boulders at you. I don't know if the entire game is intended to be procedural. Like, obviously Kingsfield was not. Kingsfield had a very distinct map. Not doing too well. And I don't know, again, I don't know if the entire game is meant to be procedural. That wouldn't really be that appealing to me if it was. I would prefer it having, like, you know, just like a well-made map to go back and forth and explore. Crossbow back. You know, when you die, one thing that isn't very Kingsfieldish is that there is no blood-curdling scream. It's just not the same without the blood-curdling scream. Here's the well. Skeleton walking around. Oh, good. Here's an herb. Give me that herb. Ah. He got right up on me. When the PlayStation 1 first came out, I ended up playing through, well, the first Kingsfield that was released here, which, you know, in Japan was not the first Kingsfield, it was Kingsfield 2, but the actual Kingsfield 1 never came out over here. So when Kingsfield 2 came out over here, which is called Kingsfield, and I quite liked the game. It was very different from really anything that I had played at the time. Like when people think about fully polygonal first-person games, you know, the big one they think of is Quake. But for me, King's Field was like the first real fully polygonal first-person game. Of course, it was very slow. Had a terrible frame rate. You had to play the game very deliberately. It was also quite unforgiving, as these skeletons are showing here. That game did not have checkpoints or anything. It was, start the game, you die? Well, load up a save game. No save game? Or start at the beginning. King's Field, though, also had, you know, a story. It had NPCs to talk to. This game, well, so far, of course, is just a demo, but it doesn't have any NPCs or anything. Don't know if the intention is to make a full, like, narrative around the game. Or is it just meant to be, like, a procedurally generated thing that will remind you of playing King's Field? I don't know. I mean, King's Field alikes, not a common thing, really, so I do appreciate it. Alright, so I've been doing this a few times, and you might wonder what the objective is. Well, it seems to be, regardless of what the procedural generated level is, you do need to find the lever to extend the bridge. And then after we get past the bridge, which we're doing now, we should find a key at some point. And then once we find the key, then we need to find the locked door the key will open. And on the way, you do find the longer sword that we're using right now from the skeletons. You do find the crossbow, herbs, the compass that we have. And there we go. There's a key. It is a big, big old key. You can't miss it. It's just kind of lying there, not in a treasure chest or anything. All right, well, gonna try to run past this. If it hits me, I do believe that is a one-hit kill. Falling in the water, as you saw, is also instant death. So, mind the bridge. Oh, that worm wants to throw a boulder at me. We can fight them. Just no reason to. Oh, over there. Would be the good old mascot for the demo disc. He's a special skeleton. And down he goes. And here is the locked door that we need the key for. We open it up and go on through. And And that is the end of the demo. It seems sort of like a proof of concept, just like the idea of what if a game that's like King's Field? And, well, here you go. I don't know what the intention is of how big they might intend to build this out to. Like, if they actually wanted to make this like a full thing where you actually had like a story, a narrative, you were exploring a whole island with different environments and such, I'd definitely be interested in checking that out. But that is the extent of the demo. We're going to return to the title. And that has been our demo of Fiend's Isle. Actually, I think I exit this by going to the menu and then going to System and then exiting the game. There we go. The island was indeed full of fiends. Unfortunately, and fortunately, we were able to get past them. Next up, Pathogen-X. This is much more of an action-packed game than what we have been playing. In Pathogen-X, you infiltrate an underground lab and retrieve the vaccine to a mutant virus in this action-packed survival horror shooter. It has blore. I'm getting a bit concerned about my tendency to do that. It has blood, gore, and flashing lights. Here are the contributors. Honestly, it's starting to become concerning. Let's head on inside the world of Pathogen-X. We're going into the lab to get the vaccine. Uh-oh, I gotta switch windows. No? Is it not? I guess the game has not launched yet. Give it a moment. I think it's coming. There it is. Okay, so this is an early prototype demo. There is going to be a story mode, but it is not in this version. We're just going to play in arcade mode. Shoot some monsters. Maybe retrieve a vaccine? Hey, why not? This is classified. Mission briefing. Once again, step into the world of survival horror. While playing in arcade mode, the placement of items, enemy encounters, and the level itself are randomly arranged. Your goal is to retrieve the vaccine from the storage room as quickly as possible, then return to the cargo elevator. Your final rank will be determined by your kills, damage taken, item gathered, and completion time. Good luck, Agent. So these are the Delta Labs. I've got a bad feeling. About these bloody deaths right here. Look at these corpses. It would be accurate to walk in there and say you've got a bad feeling about it. I need to hurry and find that vaccine. And the Netflix font loads for us as we need to investigate the facility. Okay. Well, we got a low poly dithered look. Take this handgun. There's a flashlight attached to our gun. Modern technology here. Here's a terminal. Please read the following instructions. Run faster by hold shift. Use interact with E, evasive roll with space, crouch with C. Tab to check status inventory, use and equip items. We have an area map to track our current location. Pathways marked with blue. They lead to vaccine storage. We need to find an access card first to get to the vaccine. Unlock the main door. Okay. All right. Tactical roll. Got some ammo. Locker won't budge. The door seems pretty fragile. It's a cheap locker. They explode from just one gunshot. Not investing in quality lockers here at Delta Labs. Got a med kit. And a dead body. The ravaged corpse of a Delta Corps security guard. Jesus, what the hell happened? Normal-looking vending machine. Feeling pretty hungry about now. Normal-looking vending machine. I'd kill for a cold drink right about now. That's right, cold drinks. That's what I want. And this? This barrel contains some sort of unstable compound. Might make for good fireworks. Well, I don't know why they left it just out here like that. But we can shoot them. We can blow up the vending machines. And they give us ammo. I mean, I'm sure there are some places in the US that do sell handgun ammo and vending machines. Alright, so we're going out. Like they said, the objective here is to find the vaccine. Also monsters. These doors are red. We only got one green. Shotgun ammo. I think weapon placement might be procedural. So when and where will we find a shotgun is anyone's guess. I like how all zombies come equipped with metal pipes. They just know. They just know they need to grab them. Alright, looks like we have 2 green doors we could go through. Rifle ammo. But where might we find a rifle? Well, one thing I do know is that we found the shotgun. But of course, we don't want to use that if the handgun is going to do. We'll save the shotgun. Got a big room with many zombies. Ah, here's our rifle. Server's powered on, connected to a network. No idea what kind of information is being transmitted. Computer terminal is locked. I think all of the terminals might be locked. I don't think we can actually access any of them. Even though we do see them here and there. What's this? Some kind of specimen test tubes. What monstrosities were they experimenting on down here? Fortunately, we'll never have to find out. The only thing we need to be concerned about is getting that vaccine. Ah, back there. There's that purple skeleton, the demo disc mascot. You can shoot him for points. Alright, well, we have 2 green doors. Oh, but we got vending machines. Let's shoot them. Let's try the left. Well, here is the key card door, but we do not have the key card. We need to get the key card so we can enter vaccine storage. Different books on the shelf, mostly science manuals and logistical files, but nothing useful. Look, we are not a man of reading, we are a man of gun. Look at what these science men have brought to us, the situation they've gotten us into. Only men of gun can solve this problem. I got smacked. Go to my med kits. Well, we're at a dead end and nothing's in here. So, that's likely meaning that the room that actually has the key card was one of the rooms that we passed earlier. Gotta find an intersection that we passed. There's a certain charm to the game having those door opening animations, even though it absolutely does not need it on a modern system. It's there completely for cosmetics. Okay, we didn't go in here. Oh, what's on here? Canned food and various items, but we don't need any of that. Oh, there's another one of those guys. Can we look at the description there? What a strange doll. Looking at it gives me an odd nostalgic feeling. And another one of them. This weird doll again. What's with these things? Oh, here's the key card. I believe the locked door was this way. Yeah, here it is. Okay, we can use our key card to get in here. And another one. These damn things are everywhere. It feels as though they're calling out to me. Alright, well, there's a big glowing canister right there. Let's look around for other things first. Oh, what did that say? Another Delta Corp security guard. He's been beaten to death by a blunt object. Alright. Let's see. We've been picking up some other ammo. We got the shotgun, 48 shells, the rifle, 165 bullets, so quite a lot. Why don't we take this? Vaccine capsule. Gotta get back to the elevator. Alright. Let's go return to where we started from. And escape with the vaccine. But oh no! The enemies have been restocked. Now there's like this big pink guy. Look at that guy. He's big and pink. Fortunately, there's a lot of space. Oh, might as well grab this while I'm here, though. Oh, got smacked. That tactical roll is doing a good job at dodging those hits. Alright, here's the elevator. Can we get on here without hitting... without doing... No, I think we do have to beat him. Alright, well fortunately we do have many ammos. Yeah, I might as well use it. No, I still have ammo. Yep, still have ammo. Oh, there we go. He's down. He does take many ammos. And now we can escape. Mission success. We got the vaccine. So, like we said before, the demo only has the arcade mode, which is a good sample of what the action in the game is like. This one, I feel like it plays pretty smoothly. The action was pretty good. I would like to see this built out more and to see what kind of story mode it might have. What does the ranking look like? Time, kills, items gathered, damage taken, fun. My rank is C. I'm a lizard. Oh no! Only a lizard? I believe I tried this before. I got a rank B, which was a turtle. Apparently turtle outranks lizard. Seems so. So that's our look at Pathogen-X. One of the more smoothly playing demos in this collection, it seems to me. I would like to see what that looks like with more of a story mode and built-out environments and more enemies. So that's a bit more of an action-based thing than we've seen in our previous two. We saw with Outcry something very text and story heavy. Fiend's Isle was slow melee, and Pathogen-X is more fast gun action. And now here's something once again completely different. Lorn's Lure. Lorn's Lure, an android is led through a vast structure by a glitch in his visual system. Lorn's Lure is atmospheric narrative first-person platform with novel climbing mechanics and modernized retro 3D graphics. This has some dark themes. Here's the contributor, Rebecca. Let's check out what Lorn is all about. Let's see, is the game launching? Let me have a look. I don't see it open yet. Give it. Okay, here it goes. Yeah, let's just start a new game. I don't think we need to change any of the settings. I first saw it in the forest on my outskirts of my home colony, and followed it into an abyss. It led me downward beyond retrieval before finally disappearing. I have been lost for 253 years. With no guide. A place where I'm not supposed to be. I need to find it again before my energy core expires. That's all I have left. There is no going back. And down we go. So we can move with WASD and the mouse to look around. So for first person, we move very fast. This is really first person exploration of, well, some place that our robot has been lost in for over 2 centuries. So instead of a run button, we have a slow button if we want to go slower. But we do go pretty fast. We can toggle waypoint hints. After reaching one, we need to press H again to show the next one. Well, let's see. Alright, there's a hint. Let us head towards it. Dropping down is safe as long as the floor isn't too far below. Of course, if you're this robot, we can press space to jump, hold down to jump a little higher. I mean, you think that you would be a little off-put by dropping down. Nope. I didn't jump. I just dropped. Because if you drop down, how are you supposed to actually get back up anywhere? Yet that seems to be the only way to explore. Precision jumps may take a few simulations, sure. We can press R to restart quicker. just continuing to explore and just keep heading further and further down into the whatever this is. You will slide on steeply angled surfaces. Like this right here. Let's jump. There we go. So we can try H. Oh, there it is. Down there. Well, that's not what we're supposed to do. Alright, let's jump. Nope. Easy to wait too long before you press jump. Nope. Did it again, actually. I have to press jump sooner than I think I do. Nope, that was too far. We can't fall that far. We're not invincible. Whoop, that wasn't the way. The pipes are round after all. You can slide off. And little balance beam right here. Whoop. So they do checkpoint you every now and again. I don't know if there's a visual indication of a checkpoint. I haven't noticed it. And whether you want to bring up the clue as to what your next point is that you need to go to, it's entirely up to you. You can if you want, or if you want to just discover it for yourself. Which I would think you probably would want to do that. And only use the clue if you just really can't figure out where it is that you would need to go. Nope, that jump was a little too short. That one took a while. I mean, we could press R to just restart right away. Nope. Like that, you could press R and just restart immediately. Fun thing, though, the R key right next to the E key. So, don't press R if you don't mean to press R. It's pretty close by the fingers. So the story, as you saw... Hold on. Looks like I would jump onto that. Can I make that jump? Yeah, I can. And then from there to there. So the story is that our robot here has ended up in some enormous, unknowable architecture underground. What is it? Who knows? Who built it? Who knows? How is it so incomprehensibly huge? Well, no one knows that either. It's so big that he's been searching this place for over 200 years and he can't find his way out. But he's now found some climbing picks. So things might be looking up. That's a long fall. Okay, so we can... You can climb around with these. But we do have a stamina bar. So we can't just do this forever. I mean, if he could do it forever, things would be pretty easy. Because he could just keep climbing up until he found the way out. Not everything is climbable, though. So we can see if something's climbable or not. I guess in the over 200 years he's been here, he hasn't actually found any tools. First time he's found anything. It told us to shimmy. Let's do some shimmy. We can jump off from a wall hold. Look at where we want to jump. And, nope, that's okay. There we go. Thought that was going to be too short. Alright, well, let's head back. And see if we can find somewhere else to go. So, I mentioned that there was a lot of variety in the demo disc this time around. This one is more about, it's less traditional horror and more about the horror of loneliness. Can I shove myself in there? There we go. The loneliness of being forever lost. We can press H to see where we should go. Up there. Well, clearly, we're not the only one who has tried to explore this place. Not many have tried to explore this place, I guess, but we're not the single individual only person who has ever tried to. I feel like I'm going to run out of stamina. I did. Well, I mean, I let go, but I was hoping I could grab the wall again. Well, it seems to be saying I should head up there. But I don't think I'll have the stamina to do that. Well, maybe I could try to go to that, like, very thin, like, cable and try to balance on that. That could be a possibility. But that did not quite work. There we go. That worked. So a question I think that would come up when you're watching this is how much of a story would be in a game like this? Would there be any characters? Anyone else to talk to? Or would it just be forever lonely? Until you eventually found your way out. Or would you even find your way out? Could the incomprehensibly huge underground be so huge that it's actually not possible to find your way out? What is the end game for Lorn? Anyway, we made our way to here. We could. I mean, we can't jump our way up to that. I don't think we can climb that either. No, we cannot climb, like, ramps. Also, this is unclimbable. It says the reticle is unclimbable. Alright, so we could climb around that wall. Should we? Yes, it seems like we should. I think there might be a gap up there. Maybe we could try to climb up to that. Yeah, there is. Almost fell off of that. Alright, we made it to this point. This looks a little different. Yellow and black striped. We got like a light right here. Seems like that section might serve some kind of purpose. Everything else is very grayish, bluish. All looks the same without any sort of unique characteristics. Though I do see like a blue light. Very small blue light over there. Don't know how I might get over there, though. Run back to the top of this, though that cannot be climbed. Is there like a little ledge going out around that corner? Yeah, very thin ledge. Let us walk around the ledge. Quite sure I cannot make a jump over there. So I think this is where we entered at the beginning of the demo. We slid out this pipe. Which implies that in the previous 250 years, he has been above this area in terms of altitude. He's just continued to go lower and lower with no means of getting back up until now. Now that he has his picks, he can start making some progress up. Like a little red light over there in the distance. I think we can get there by crossing this pipe. That's the end of the pipe. Let's see, can I... get around with this. Yeah, looks like we're going to make that. And we're going to slide on down. And what did we find? Research log, Colony 8615. Material analysis suggests this structure is unknown to any scientific records at Colony 8615. It is highly dense and undatable with existing methods. It has not been observed to decompose. Alright, well, someone's been analyzing. Doing a little analysis here and there. Maybe that dead robot that we found. Could be. Scan things by pointing. Oh, I guess we were supposed to get to this one first. But this is encrypted. Unable to read log. Let's see. Well, I just pressed the H key and I didn't see anything come up. Oh no, it's down there. Huh. Whoop, that's not gonna do it. Well, I made it. Okay, so going down there, the furthest out I can get is to walk on this pipe. But obviously we're not going to survive that. So what is a safe way down? Try to climb down that wall. Oops, that's... Oh, maybe I can slide on this? That's almost... Okay, well, that seems like probably the right track. I just need to land correctly. Maybe I should head up... Let's try to lean to the right. Into this one. Oh, that's... Almost made it. Oh, that I think I should have survived that one. Okay. Survived that one. I guess I would just have to keep doing that. Okay, survive that. Yep, did not make that one. Well, at least it checkpoints me here. Okay. And down there. Getting to a structure down there. Alright, well, we made it to this thing. This point. I assume we're going further down, because why else would we have come this far? Let's confirm that. Yep, over there. Can I survive dropping on that? It looks too far. But, like, if we went back to that wall... Like, I don't think there's a way to actually continue on from there. So I guess let's find out. Yep, it's just a bit too far. Let's see. What's the closest point that we could fall to? That right there. Still looks a bit too far. Yeah, that was a bit too far. Yeah, and that's just missing. We can climb on this, can't we? Didn't mean to push myself off. Oh, there's that thing up there. I believe that's the thing that lured us into the underground. Well, I mean, I imagine we would want to have words with whatever that is. I was starting to believe I'd die down here without seeing it again. But here it is. Oh, we're still going. Oh, area cleared. Tells us how many simulations we had, how much time, how many crystals. I did not see crystals. Well, that's it. That's the demo. That's a very interesting game. That's the climbing and the jumping all worked well. And I thought that there was a good sense of size and height. A bit nerve-wracking trying to jump down from high places, climbing around. And like I said, I do like the environment of the incomprehensibly huge underground labyrinth of unknowable purpose. That's a neat thing. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing where this might go. Just the alpha demo, but I am interested in seeing if this one continues development and what this might be in a more completed state. Not the traditional horror that we've been doing, but it is a very lonely kind of environment. The fear of being lost and alone until you die. You know, horror doesn't necessarily have to be about monsters or anything. Next, the drowning machine. This one's a bit of a heavier subject than what we're used to. We look at the description here. The drowning machine. Before my best friend's passing, we began working on a game together. These excerpts are all I have left. In his honor, it's time to finish that game. The content warnings are plentiful. Body horror, suicide, self-harm, real death, graphic description and discussing of strong negative emotions. Here are the contributors. This one is... I feel like this is more like a poem in video game form. Maybe that'll make sense as we go through it. Game is launching. Oh, but not full screen. Let's see if we can change that. Options. There we go. All right, we can read before playing. So, I feel it's important to warn you of exactly what you're about to see. As much as it's been incredibly painful to work on, I feel this message is one that needs to be heard. In February of 2019, my best friend Charlie took his own life. He was a brother to me as much as he was a friend. A few months before his passing, he and I had begun to work on a game together, a project he loved dearly. What you're about to see is the closest I will ever come to his original vision, wrapped in my own experience mourning his loss. The Drowning Machine is a testament to his life and creativity, and the real unfiltered experience of losing a loved one to suicide. I've attempted to start this project a number of times under different names and perspectives, but this has been the only way this feels right. Before he passed, he insisted that if anything bad ever happened to one of us, the other had to finish the game. Profit from the Drowning Machine will be donated to a trans lifeline in Charlie's honor. So let us play the demo. So of this, it looks like 3 of the 6 chapters are completed, I suppose. So we can do chapters 3, well, movements they call them, 3, 4, and 6. So, start with 3. The waiting. I tore out my fingernails waiting to hear your voice. I keep telling myself that the blood maybe missed that call. Wanderlust contains excerpts from the poem Selfish, written by Charlie, provided before his passing. And here, of course, are the content warnings that we read in the launcher. Oh, yeah, I was looking down. I had to look up. It was spring, and the newborn babies had to eat. The incessant chirping was mind-numbing. But the birds in the nest were so cute. Press tab to stop waiting. I don't know if anything happens if we don't press tab. But we can press tab to pick up the phone. Hey, have you heard from Charlie? He sent me something... No, why? He sent me something weird. Haven't heard from him since Friday. I'm getting worried. One morning, the chirping was different. A tiny baby bird with no eyes to see had fallen from its home. The thing was pathetic, screaming for help from the pavement below. But as we all know, you're not supposed to touch a baby bird. I left it there to wait for its mother. But night fell, and the bird's cries for help went unheeded, now weak with exhaustion. I did what I could to keep it from harm, trying desperately to bring it closer to its home. I fear I may have sealed its fate. It was fun at first, the brush of wings, the words between words, the brilliance of the light. Sunlight lingered on his lips, danced in his smile, radiated from his eyes, a heavenly gleam that seemed to blot out the endless ocean. The lilting swallow melody that covered the notes of my own swan song. You promised. Oh. Well, that's... Firefox came up, and I'm getting a lot of YouTube comments of a previous video. I don't know why that happened. I guess it brought up this webpage. LGBTQ suicide webpage, I believe. But the game is still up. I don't remember that happening when I tried this before. And there are other movements to play anyway. That was free fall. I wonder if was that where that was supposed to end, or did I do something wrong? I don't actually know. I don't remember that happening last time though. But we'll go on to movement 4. The Wanderer. During a period of grief, sometimes it's better to fight your way to the surface, trying desperately to breathe again. Sometimes it's safer just to sink between the waves. Wanderlust contains excerpts from the poem Break It Down, written by Charlie, provided before his passing. And stay out. Wandering around the store crying, you're scaring the customers. Fucking weirdo. And we have some pieces of paper that we can collect in this one. Cheer up, bud. It's the first snow of the winter. Hasn't snowed at all and it's February. Aren't you excited? Why aren't you excited? You love this. This is your favorite part of winter. When everything is still, and the snow soaks up the sound. Whoop. Looked like something flashed on screen for a second there. That is a nice part of winter. I mean, as annoying as it can be to shovel the snow, it is nice when everything feels very still and quiet. In a way, that's the exact opposite of a train. It's been tearing me up, you know. Not knowing how you went. Every night I see you there. In that 2-person dorm room. Alone. Left to sit for 3 whole days. With that second empty bed frame. Stood up against the wall. And the flies crawling in. Is there anything over here? Another piece of the page? Doesn't seem like it. This opened up, but there are more stairs to go down. But we got another piece of page. And another one hiding behind the corner. Page is almost complete. Of course I wandered into the snow, no jacket required. White drawing streaks of red across the skin. Rubbed raw from the sea salt. Unfeeling. You had to know I couldn't stand to lie there. Wrapped in your burial shroud. Your epitaph through magenta glass. Boring holes in the back of my head. I feel like sometimes I see some text appearing, then it disappears instantly. Oh, but we got the whole thing. Pulling my gums, baring my teeth, a fish on a hook, a deer in the headlights, being born, being used, being dead, pinching the candles, kissing the flame, the ecstatic birthday boy. The compliant hospital patient, it's there, it's not, it's gone. Making a mess, spitting it out, a tangle of yarn. A selfish little toddler. They come, they promise, they leave. Well, we completed our ticket, and it said to validate the ticket here. Time to get out of here. Let's take a seat. And that's bullshit. You never bought that ticket. Where the fuck were you going to go? Home? No destination was worth the price. Of the space in between. You stayed on that bench until they found you. Scared shitless. In the snow. Alone. And that would be the end of this movement. I guess I manually go back to the main menu. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so that's 2 out of the 3 currently available. Then, lastly, we have movement 6, Eulogy. The end. I knew what I had to do, but after the last open casket, I wasn't sure I had the strength to do it. But I made a promise. So this was created in 3 hours, using the poem Your Actions Will Have Consequences, written by Charlie, provided before his passing. More papers for us to collect. Not a ticket this time. Please, don't go. We'll get through this together. I promise, kiddo. I can't do another open casket. I can't. Haven't slept in days. It's okay. You'll be fine. Hide the hurt. You promised. You owe it to him. Are there more pieces of paper to find? Because that seems like advancement. I mean, I did not look down this side of the street. I wonder if there's an issue. I can't actually walk onto the sidewalk, but I see paper over there. Oh, I'm on the sidewalk. Guess they took down the old swing sets. Probably because of our late night haunts. Any paper down here? It's dark down there, kiddo. Apparently not. Please. Oh, here's one right here. Let's see if we can get onto the other sidewalk now. No? I feel like I'm being blocked. There we go. Most of the time I'm not getting on it, then sometimes I can. Oh, see some paper over there. All those nights I drove you home early. I should have known. The whole thing's completed now. The lingering, persistent cough sounds like too long of a drag, tastes like ragged purging, feels like silent, exhaling screaming. The angry, subconscious itching whispers like a spot of rust, screams like the snap of a flame, cries like synthetic rubber. The floating, violent lightness snags like a human desert, grips like gnashing teeth. Pulls like the 30th empty hour, the frustrated, helpless weight, sinks like sunlight through the blinds, rots like the bare minimum, hates like the dark gray at the end. We got all the paper, so I don't think there would be anything else for us to find. Might as well head into the very precariously located church up here. All right, interact.
Today I'm here in front of you to read words I was hoping I'd never have to write. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get through them, but for his sake I damn well have to try. These words might be rough for some, but I promised him I'd say them. Monday morning, I woke up to the news I had been praying not to hear the night before. Charlie Schultz, the brightest star in my life, had passed away. I spent several days convinced this was all a bad dream I'd wake up from with a hole torn in my heart, but sadly I've had no such luck. I've spent several days trying to find a singular event, some defining moment in my friendship with him that could capture everything he meant to me, but no single experience with him could ever show you what it was like to have him in your life. No words could ever encompass the boundless creativity and artistry of the things he created. No words could ever explain the endless late nights and inside jokes and philosophical conversation, the laughter, the tears. No words could ever encompass the bottomless support and love he had for the people he cared about. Though he may not have seen it himself, Charlie was a warrior. The fears and burdens and sorrow he experienced in his life would crush even the strongest among us. Charlie held the weight of the world on his shoulders, but if you so much as frowned within a mile of him, he wouldn't hesitate for a single second to drop everything he was doing to come to your rescue. Charlie may not have known it, but he was our rock, and we did all we could to be his. But pain is incomprehensible, and his fight has ended. So in honor of his fight and the joy he brought into our lives, I ask all of you only one thing. Today let us bury the body of the daughter, granddaughter, niece, and sister who never quite was. Let us lay to rest his fears and pain and regret. Let us mourn the parts of him that never were. And let us remember and rejoice in the light of the son, grandson, brother, and friend Charlie truly was. His dry wit and boundless creativity, the good times and the bad. Let us remember the warrior, inspiration, and absolute gem of a human being that is Charlie Schultz, because a little bit of that man lives on inside each and every one of us. Rest in peace, kiddo. I'm so proud to have called you my friend.
And that, I feel, is, yeah, probably the end of the movement. And that would be the third of the movements that are currently available. And so that's our look at the Drowning Machine, which, as we said before going into it, much heavier subject matter than these other demos that we have been playing, as it does seem sort of like a video game being used as a method to present basically, I guess, poetry in a way of expressing grief over the loss of a loved one, which is not usually what we would expect from, well, horror game demos. So that is the Drowning Machine. Don't know what the other three movements might have. Kind of surprised that number 6, the last one, would have been in the demo. And the ones that are still to come would be the earlier ones. But that is, I guess, half of the Drowning Machine. The next one that we have here is the Lunar Effect. Let's take a look at the description. The Lunar Effect takes its protagonist on a dark and unfamiliar path. Awakening in a strange mansion, he must discover the fate of its inhabitants and find a way out. The content warning is blood. Just blood. Here are the contributors. Well, when you think about horror games, one of the main things you might think of is, how about a haunted house? And it looks like that is what we're going to get. The Lunar Effect. Let's take a look at the settings. Okay, this is mainly a gamepad game, I believe, so we're going to take that. We do have the option of skipping the door animations, but of course we're not going to skip the door animations. Of course not. Let's start. Better with a controller. Well, that's what I have right here. We have movement, miscellaneous, inventory, back, interact, and continue. Oh, my head. What happened? Where the hell am I? What is this place? All right. Our goal is to find out where the hell are we and what is this place. Not necessarily in that order. Nothing but ash in this fireplace. And something I'm just going to point out, that is just the Silent Hill 1 font. I'm quite sure that is exactly the Silent Hill 1 font. Pretty sure that's what that is. Wait, there's a crumpled up drawing at the bottom. Ah, yes. Well, we only have part of it. The other half has been burnt. We picked up the note and put it in our inventory. Someone's desk. This all seems so old. Seems like there's a torn-up diary entry here, as you will find in a haunted house. 2nd of March, 1912. Heavenly Father, I beseech you. I have run out of options and do not know how to go on. A man's home is meant to be their castle, but the subjects I am surrounded by are blind to the truths I hold. I fear they are but vessels of unrequited comfort. It plagues and twists my every thought. Simply a taste of what I knew would quench my unyielding thirst. Please, Father, what do I do? Where do I go next? If you do not guide me and answer my prayers, I know who will. That's generally a part you don't add on to the prayer. God, if you don't give me advice on this, I know who I need to go to. So balls in your court, God. Look, if I summon some demons, this is on you. You had your chance to stop me from the demon summoning. Looks like there's a combination lock on the door of this grandfather clock. If I know the combination, I might just be able to unlock it. Well, 4-letter word. But we don't have the combo. This door seems to be locked. I don't recognize any of these, though one seems to stand out. Then the Lord God had planted a garden in the east in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work and take care of it. And the Lord God commanded the man, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die." The Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." These drawers are filthy. Looks like they haven't been cleaned in months. Huh. Someone's left some sort of poem in the top drawer. Hearth glowing neath a thatchwork roof, our hearts and bellies warming, my true love's kiss is magic's proof, each nightmare kept from forming. A lot of files to pick up and read in this room. This is the bed where we woke up. My impression on the bed is deep. How long have I been laying there? My impression is deep. So deep. It put Harry's butt to sleep, I guess. I mean, this seems like we are playing as Harry Mason. Kind of looks like him. Looks like there's a pencil here. Might as well take it. Who knows when I will need it? Yes, we're survival horror protagonists. Pick up that pencil. So many things we could do with it. Alright, so I think that's everything that we can find. And here's our inventory. We have a pencil. We can examine it. We can rotate it around. Look at that. This pencil model right here. Well, the clue will come from our documents. We got this strange prose. Well, we need a 4-letter word. And we found a 4-line poem. Maybe we want to look at the first letter of each line, possibly. The first time I tried this, it was a different poem, by the way. So the combination was not this. But we just got, let's see. We got H, O, M, and E. It looks like someone taped a key to the pendulum of the clock. You picked up the bedroom key and put it in your inventory. It looks as if there was a note attached to this key. Finally, you return to the foot of your master, as all humans do. Your fellow man bound you to the service of the ticking clock, a cruel god you have submitted to willingly. I am not as cold as mortal man. I would show you mercy. I will shine a light that you may watch each grain of sand slip through your fingers, that you may know how few remain. Should you run out of sand, out of moments you will know exquisite, inconceivable suffering. Few mortals can act with such prescience. Regard this as the blessing I intended to be. Oh, I have a time limit. Well, we gotta examine this house before that time limit runs out, I suppose. Well, we do have a key. And we use the bedroom key with the bedroom door. Don't need this anymore. Threw away the bedroom key. Alright, we're out. Now we can examine this house. Lock is broken. Yeah, there we go. Now this is a real Silent Hill game. No use. It won't budge. Wow, a different text. The lock was not broken. It was just, there's no use. That's different. Another door right here. Oh, that's the one we just went in? Or just we came from? Nope. Different room. Different room. Someone left some research notes on the table. Looks like they left them in a hurry. 28th February 1912, 18:10 p.m. Twilight's first break and no sign of the pale beast I would have expected by such an hour that I would at least get but a glimpse upon her. But alas, no such luck. Perhaps I am testing my luck. I shall return at a more appropriate hour. 20 o'clock. Still no luck. Mary calls out to me to stop my incessant research. She doesn't understand what I am on the verge of discovering. She will learn to appreciate the sacrifices I have made, but it is not my responsibility to open her eyes just yet. And just as a nitpick, if you're using 24-hour time, you don't need to say PM. I know that's just a nitpick. 3:32 a.m. Hours I have spent staring into the great yonder, but she shows no sign of revealing herself. I know it was an anomaly, but I can't let them be right. I can't let them all be right. A lot of text to read so far. It looks like some kind of occult book talking about secret languages and those who use them. Looks like there's a loose piece of paper with a chart on it. I will take that. Yoink. Take that codex guide. We can look at the codex guide. There we go. Not really of any use for us right now, but maybe it will be. There's paper in the typewriter here with a paragraph that has some strange symbols. Maybe I can figure out what this means if I decipher it. It's no use. I just can't make sense of it. I must be missing something. Whoever lived here last was clearly quite the reader. Strange. This wardrobe looks brand new. I can't open it. There's no lock. Everything else in this house looks old and run down, but this thing looks brand new. This person was one hell of a collector. What did they collect? Books? I guess. Books seems to be mostly what's on there. Books and picture frames, I suppose. Don't think I can look at the paintings. Doesn't seem like it. You know, I never really hear anyone be called a collector of books. Nothing here but random knickknacks. God, I can't believe I said knickknacks out loud. That's a proper term. Like, if someone has in their home, if they have like a bookshelf and has a lot of books on it, I wouldn't hear someone call that being a collector of books. I don't know, just doesn't seem like it's a term that's used for that. We can go downstairs, or can we? Damn, it seems as if the stairs are busted. There's no way I'm going to risk jumping. It looks like it might collapse any minute. Guess I'll have to find another way down then. Find another way was in yellow text. That's how you know you should pay attention to it. Flaying of Marcius. Titian. Yeesh. Remind me to never challenge the gods. It's not something that really comes up that often, I suppose. But who can say what'll come up in the strange house? Witches in Flight, Francisco Goya. Whoever owns this mansion has unique taste. Okay, this door is open. Looks like a kid used to live here. Not what I expected out of a place like this. Children? In a house? I don't know what to make of this. It looks like... Oh, by the way. Spin without moving. Yeah, there we go. That is some good old survival horror spinning. A trunk filled with kids' books and toys. Looks like a doll's house. That's odd. It's modeled after this house. Wait, it looks like there's something behind the little front door. We picked up a key part and put it in our inventory. This looks like it might be part of a key. Possibly, but only part. Nothing but mist outside. Why would they have boarded up the kids' windows as well? Well, if you're boarding up a window, like a window of a house, that probably means you're boarding up every window of the house. Kind of how boarding up windows works. A pink kid's bed by the toilet, looks of it. Hope they're okay. This little skeleton seems out of place. Probably some nerdy mascot. Might as well take it with me. We picked up the strange doll. Yep. This fellow appears in quite a few of these games, these demos. Looks like the kid wanted a tea party. They even had seats spare. I mean, of course you have seats spare. Where are your guests gonna sit if you don't have any seats to spare? And why even bother having a tea party if you don't have guests? Empty drawers all the way to the bottom. This door seems to be locked. But this door is open. Looks like this was the baby's play area. God, it's a mess. God, that baby didn't know how to clean up after itself. I can't believe just how messy that baby was. What's wrong with that baby? God, it's such a mess. Someone needs to give that baby a talking to. Just a bunch of kids' books and a teddy. God, it's a mess. Wow, our character really has low tolerance for babies not picking up after themselves. There are some shapes on the wall behind this crib. God, they're a mess. Maybe if I tweak this mobile, I can get them to match up. Puzzle. We got a puzzle on our hands. All right, we can... Let's see, X and A to... Right, move the direction of this thing. There we go. Shining some light on the wall. Now Y to move the elevation. There we go. Oh, not that. Whoop. Pressing the wrong buttons. There we go. Now this one. This is the half moon. Nope. Wrong button again. And elevation. There we go. One more. We got the full moon. And elevation. There we go. And the cryptic text appears, giving forbidden demon knowledge to Baby. Baby is quite advanced in their demon education. Those symbols, God, they're a mess. They look like they're written in embers. I should use a pencil to write this down. Well, We're thinking ahead. We've got a pencil. I'll note this on the codex. It might get me out of this wretched place. There we go. Well, we haven't filled the whole thing. We just learned a few of the demon runes from the baby's room. What the hell was that sound? Well, yeah, I mean, we haven't actually seen any monsters or gotten scared or anything. Well, we were repulsed by the mess the baby left. God, I can't believe this baby. But we haven't actually been scared of anything. Like, it's a strange house, but it hasn't been a house of horrors as of yet. But of course, we don't know what this time limit is about. Looks like this way is blocked off with a barricade. I could easily walk over it, but, you know, I don't want to. I always like that, how most of the time in these games, when a passageway is barricaded, it's like, you could get over that. Like, if you tried, you could do that. Alright, so let's see. Is there any rooms we have not examined? Of course, we have examined this room. Did we find anything that we needed from this room? Oh, wait. No, it's, Did we get... We got that part of the key from it, right? I believe so. That's probably what it is we needed to get from this room. Alright, so... We know we can't go downstairs. Any rooms that we missed? What the hell? Is that... blood? Gulp? What happened in here? Was the baby in here? It's such a mess. Only the baby could have left such a mess. It looks like the window got smashed in and now there's glass everywhere. Someone wrote something on the floor with blood. Looks like more symbols and letters, just like the baby's room. Right, use our pencil. Here we go. It's a good time to educate ourselves. With this, I can finally finish the full codex. Alright, it is done. Anything else to look at? The window got smashed in. Between the sharp glass and long drop, I don't favor my odds of getting out here. I'll take my chances elsewhere, thank you. One of those old-fashioned tall toilets. God, I hope I never have to use it. I mean, it doesn't seem, like, strange to use. The experience is probably the same thing as using, you know, a modern toilet. This basin is lined with dust and grime. The taps don't even work. When was the last time this was used? Man, I've woken up in some strange houses in my time, and I am not impressed with the facilities in this. A bathtub lined with grime. Disgusting. I expect to wake up in a better class of Haunted Mansion. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've now completed the entire codex. And I believe, yes, now we have the information that we need here. There's paper in the typewriter here with a paragraph that has some strange symbols. Maybe I can figure out what this means if I decipher it. If I'm going to write into this, I'm going to need to use a pencil. Well, it's a good thing we picked up this pencil. It's been the most useful item in the game so far. Okay, so we have text and then some runes in the middle of the text. So we can decide what word we want to replace the runes with, and we use that with the codex. So let's see. The first rune is like an upside-down U, and if I'm looking at the codex, that appears to be P. Alright, how many words begin with P? Only one, baby. Let's see, this next one, the first rune is like kind of a backwards J with two horizontal lines on it, which is L on the codex. How many words begin with L? We got two, love and life. Okay, so the second rune is like a kind of like a number 7. There's more than one number 7 on this. I think we have, like, the kind of slightly curvy number 7. Actually, there's, like, at least 4 number 7s on this. Oh, I think our number 7 here is I. L-I, so it's life. Okay. 2, let's see, the first character is, what would you say that looks like? It's kind of like a Y, but with like an extra line on the bottom. Kind of. Let's see. This one I would say is A. I think it's A. So how many words do we have that begin with A? Only one. Put that in. And the last one, that first letter, is kind of like a backwards J. And that, let's see, that one is going to be G. G/J? It can be two things. It can be either G or J. So words that begin with either G or J. Only one. We have gods. All right. Looks like I've figured out the passage now. What in Jod's name was that? Well, I guess we're going to have to check it out. This brand new wardrobe, what could possibly be inside? All right, here goes nothing. It was a rambunctious key. We picked up the servant's key and put it in our inventory. Well, good thing it wasn't some sort of tentacle monster that wants to drag us in. That was not the case. Key to the servant's quarters. Well, we did see one locked door. And so now we have this key. Let's head on over. Not that one. The camera, like, was focused. Yeah, this one. The camera was focused on it. I use a servant's key. I don't need this anymore. We threw it away. Alright, what do we have in here? Seems like it's just got some old clothes inside. I wonder what book they were reading. Actually, on second thought, I don't care. Yeah, why am I looking at that? It's one of those old dumbwaiters. Doesn't have any power. There must be a way to get this working. Nothing but useless junk in these drawers. Great, just what I need. More ticking clocks. I know. I hate when I have an overage of clocks. I'm like, this place has a surplus of clocks. I don't understand why we need so many. Like, there's one clock in each room? Who needs that many? A picture of someone's family. Just how old is this picture anyway? There seems to be ripped out pages of a diary in this trunk. Might as well have a peek. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know each stroke is like a permanent tattoo upon your being. I truly am sorry. If I speak, they might hear, and I must mark you in order to feel your presence. I see your invisible hands at work. I read the signs and see the moments. I continue to help guide your will and what you want. But the wife, she worries, she suspects. She fights against your hunger. What do you want me to do about it? Do you wish to consume? Yes, I know it's like before, but you can't be a picky eater. Give me a sign, a creak, a tap at the window, and I will take that as your word. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Christ, this is the ramblings of a madman. That looks like part of a key in here. Hey, got another part of key. You know, if you're saying, hey, just give me a sign that I should, like, murder my wife, any sign. Like if the floorboards creaked like that, or maybe like I hear a bird chirp outside. I mean, if that's what you're doing, like anything is a sign, really. How do you know if it's a sign if anything could be a sign? Whoops. Can I not combine? Whoops, I'm picking the wrong one. Combine. There we go. I managed to combine these into a storage key. I guess we, like, put a little bit of tape around it. I'm not really sure what that is we secured it with. This door seems to be locked. Well, fortunately, we just repaired a key. I used a storage key. I don't need this anymore. Threw it away. What a dramatic perspective. Toilet paper, cleaning supplies, garbage bags, I guess. And a power box. A fuse box in this closet. If I mess about with the wires, yes, that's how it works. Look, I'm going to open this box and then just fiddle with the wires, and I don't know, maybe something will happen. It's one of these. Well, okay, he wasn't kidding when he said he had to mess around with the wires. I don't know if I'd call this a fuse box. I don't know what you would call this. Okay, you have blue, which needs to connect to blue, and red, which needs to connect to red. Okay, starting from here. All right. It's probably this. And then maybe that. I think, okay, that's connected. Blue is now connected. So this would have to be, it would have to go up. And okay, that goes up, and then that crosses over this. And then that. And then that. And then it goes to here, then to here. Well, that's part of the blue line. I can't move that. So up here, maybe? And then like that. And then maybe this. And that. And then, okay, so now this goes down. This crosses over the blue. Then like that. And then crosses over blue here. And then that. And then this crosses over the blue again. And that. And then to there. And then to that. And then to there. We did it. I just heard the dumbwaiter turn on in the other room. I should check it out. What in the hell is that? Well, we should probably get away from it. Let's head to the dumbwaiter. Yep, I'm gonna hide in here. To be continued. All right, let's look at our stats. Got our times of the different puzzles. Interactions found, 41 out of 45. There were 4 interactions I didn't get. Pencil's broken. I don't know how you can break a pencil. Apparently you can. We completed the codex. Scully's wish was unfulfilled. Scully, I assume, is the mascot. But what was his wish? How could we have fulfilled it? I don't actually know. I feel disappointed that we did not satisfy Scully. So that's the Lunar Effect. I'm interested in playing more of this. It, you know, it's kind of like a standard, you know, just exploring this haunted house, doing some light puzzle solving. With clearly the aesthetic and the look modeled after some early Silent Hill games. As far as whether or not there would be any combat or anything is, I don't know. Can't really tell from this. We did see a monster at the end, and we had to hide from it. So could this possibly be one of those, you know, spiritual successors to Clock Tower that we love so much? I don't know. It could possibly be that we just run away from it instead of fighting. Can't tell from the demo. But I did like what I played here. And I would like to see how this continues on. So that is our look at the Lunar Effect demo. Don't know what happens if the time limit runs out. Maybe the monster just gets you automatically if that happens. And with that, I think our look at the Lunar Effect is probably going to be where we're going to stop for tonight. We've taken a look at a few demos. What's the next one coming? Next one coming is Still Ridge. But we've had, let's see, how many has that been? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big variety. We have an Outcry, 2D top-down, text-heavy game. A lot of text, a lot of dialogue, a lot of story. Fiend's Isle, made in the style of King's Field for the PlayStation 1. Pathogen-X, third-person shooter, more action-heavy. Lorn's Lure, which is a game where you're exploring some sort of impossible alien underground structure of infinite and who knows how much size. The Drowning Machine, a very personal, like I said, sort of a poem in video game form, an expression of grief. The Lunar Effect, something that you might be more expectant when you're thinking about like a horror game or survival horror. This looks more like what you would think of. And I enjoyed all of our looks of each of these very different demos tonight. So there are 10 on each, 10 on the first 2 floors, and then 5 on the 5th floor for 25 in total. Looks like on the first floor we've got Still Ridge, Risu, Chameleon, and Loveland. Okay, so next time we'll be continuing from Still Ridge. And I hope you enjoyed this look at these horror demos. So many more demos to go. So many more PS1-ish horror demos of a variety of types, shapes, sizes, and looks. I'll see you next time as we continue our journey through the macabre.